To be honest, back in 2015, when Donald Trump was saying, build the wall, and everyone was going, build that wall, I didn't really feel one way or the other about it. Obviously, I was just kind of waking up, coming out of my liberal dream state. And while people were really upset and said that the chant was xenophobic and it was racist and things of that nature, I didn't really feel, again, one way or the other. I just kind of thought, okay, it's not necessarily a bad thing to say that we want to have a fortified border, but also I don't really understand why he's pressing on this one particular issue. I think a lot of people felt that way. And I think a lot of people fell for the leftist argument that he was just being xenophobic and he was just being racist. But a lot has changed since 2015, and I think all of us are recognizing that something very serious is happening at our borders. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, we covered the story out of New York City. You're actually having students that are made to work remote from school, remote learning from school, because they are allowing illegal immigrants to occupy their schools, buses, picking them up. They need a place to live. So your children, your students should stay at home, and we are going to make sure that we are able to house illegals. Obviously ridiculous, obviously are facing a crisis. Even leftist politicians who once said, oh, we welcome all illegal immigrants. There's no such thing as an illegal alien. Everybody's just a person, are now going, no, we've got problems. And we expect the federal government to help us solve them. Now, I want to say this, defending our border.
A border shutdown in El Paso, Texas, as hundreds force their way onto the Paso del Norte International Bridge. Men, women, and children pushing Mexican soldiers out of the way in an attempt to enter the U.S. It seems they were misinformed, said this Mexican official, telling our Telemundo affiliate they were told they would be allowed into the U.S. once at the port of entry.
Don't know who did that or why they did that.
Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar saying the bridges were built for trade and tourism, and immigration is now stressing the system.
My district, South Texas, people don't want to see this. They want to see an orderly process.
Customs and Border Protection responding with barricades and additional officers to stop the migrants. The crowd, including migrants from Venezuela seeking asylum, like this man telling our affiliate he's been waiting too long at the border and couldn't delay anymore. This woman adding the phone app used by U.S. authorities to process asylum requests has not worked for her.
This type of situation does not help their cause. We need to make sure that people that want to come over, we have law and order at the border.
U.S. border officials say 2 other international bridges in the area were affected by other groups of migrants coming from Ciudad Juarez.
I just saw everyone recording. Understand what they're going through, but I think that they need to do it the right way.
This is not the first time a large group arrives this way at the port of entry. In 2018, members of a migrant caravan attempted to force their way through the San Isidro port of entry in San Diego. Border there shut down temporarily as the migrants were stopped, the incident forcing officials to tighten security. But the border in that region still strained. Just this weekend, 8 people died after 2 suspected smuggling boats crashed north of the city, according to the Coast Guard and CBP. Back in Texas, the border bridge has reopened, but thousands still waiting in Mexico as the migrant crisis continues.